Well, we're 50 kilometres east of Bordeaux at the circuit of Faleyras, Gironde, for the second round of the European Rallycross Championship. Time to find out a bit more about the difference between rally and rallycross cars.
This is the original car you can buy from a shop, what you can see. But inside is completely different. It's four-wheel drive, special gearbox and very special engine with about 720 Newton meters of torque, and it's 550 horsepower. So you have acceleration in this class for these cars for 1 to 100 kilometers about 2.5 seconds.
Can we compare this with a World Rally car in the rally?
You can do on the suspension side, and on the gearbox and the diff with the electronic diff and the sequential gearbox. But the engine is much more powerful because we use a 45 restrictor. That is the air intake for the turbo, and when you get more air, you can get more power.
Do you have a weight limit here, like in the rally?
Yes, we have a weight limit, and the weight limit is the same we have in rallying, the homologated weight and the World Rally Championship.
Well, if technical stuff is double Dutch for you, have a look while we go on board round the circuit with Kenneth Hansen. Do up your seatbelts. You're in the Citroën Zara. Now the crowd really looking forward to this heat because we've got two previous European champions. Number 8 is Jean-Luc Pailler, the Frenchman, and that's Per Ekland, who did so well last time out. The Ford Focus of Jernberg alongside them. What a lovely circuit this is too. Oh, and that looked like a jump start for Ekland, and they're being called back. It really is crucial, as we've seen race after race. Here we go again then, and pretty even start, apart from Jernberg, who gets an absolute scorcher about 15 yards out and moves in front. We're on board the Citroën Zanti of Jean-Luc Pailler, and you can see Per Ekland looking for any way past the Ford Focus, but this Focus being driven like a rocket, and it's looking good so early in the season for the new car. And Pailler just can't keep up with the pace of Ekland, and you can see them starting to spread out. Jean-Luc Pailler obviously looking for a good result in France this weekend, but in this heat it's the Ford Focus of Michael Jernberg leading Per Ekland from Jean-Luc Pailler. But what a storming drive by Jernberg, and he really has got the measure of Per Ekland. And could this be another new name to keep Rallycross really exciting again this season? Working hard at the wheel there as they wind off the rough onto the tarmac, back onto the rough again. The suspension working overtime, having to perform so many different functions all within the one circuit. And Michael Jernberg looks as if he's got this well in control, and the crowd given a good treat. So the next heat, Hansen on the left, next to him Opland, Hunsberg and Kuypers. It looks like a jump start, and Hunsberg has got a problem.
Now in the morning we have a problem with the pipe for the center diff, so we have no traction in the front.
So it's rush time for Hunsberg pit crew, trying to get that traction problem sorted out. But not enough time, just 3 on the grid, on board with Eivind Opland. Oh wow, look at that, as Hansen goes storming past him, and you can see Kuypers alongside him, so a pretty poor start for Opland in the Mitsubishi Charisma. Look at it one more time. he's left standing as the escort, the ex-Martin Skanker export, really does give Hansen a run for his money. But once Hansen's in front, this beautifully prepared Citroen is going to be very hard to get past, and Hansen's going to make it very wide as well. You can see him working on the steering there, those wheels just oversteering, understeering, and keeping that car on track all the way round. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Jos Kuypers. And Kenneth Hansen looking to score some big points here this weekend, because the championship battle is underway, and there's a win.
Kenneth, you have technical problems?
Yeah, small ones, but they could be big if we don't fix them. We have some small oil leak with a cylinder top cover, and there's some small fuel problem, similar as in Czechia, but we have changed everything, so we don't know really why we have it still, but I think we will be all right for the next heat and for the final.
But if we see you on the track, you're fastest every time, so there is not a problem.
Perhaps I go so quick because I'm scared to get the problem, so it could be a solution.
Well, it really is a modern-day motorsports circus, this Rallycross Championship, travelling all over Europe. And some might say in great luxury, but there's a lot of work goes on. And the guys live in the trucks and move from event to event. And it gives the crowd something to look at, but Per Ekland, there's a lot of driving still to do.
We go straight after it, hopefully. So I cross the finger that the car is in one piece. So the problem is we have no time to go home. We must go straight from here to Portugal, for it's so long way.
So then you live in this bus?
We're living, and we have, I have at least 1.5, 2 cars inside there, spare engine, transmission, all wings, door, everything. So we can do about everything. And it's a hard work to do it in the tent.
How many times did it took you to come from Sweden to over here?
We have 2 days about. We go straight. We never stop. We just driving. We are 2, 3 drivers. So we drive 4 or 5 hours and change. Only every 1,000 kilometers we fill diesel.
Lunchtime in France means one thing, well, it means two actually, baguette and du vin, but no vin for the drivers as they're heading up on this heat. It's important for Kuypers, and Jernberg gets a storming start in the Focus, number 4 there, and the perfect line into the first corner. In front of Jokinen and Kuypers. Kuypers pushing really hard. He's got to get a second place here if he's going to go through to the A final. Kuypers just behind Jokinen, and he's pushing hard. He's trying to find a way through in the escort. The trouble is, the harder you push, the easier it is to make a mistake. Oh, and you can see he's actually physically pushing him, and round he goes. Jokinen takes the big spin. And this one it looks like, if you're keen to get into second place, a little touch on that rear wing, and merry-go-round about. Kuypers now making sure that he hangs on to this second place to go through to the A final. Meanwhile, Jernberg really establishing his place this weekend with a brilliant win. Right, lining up for the A final now, Per Ekland. See Jean-Luc Pailler just moving his Citroen into place. To the right of him, to our left, is Kenneth Hansen. And you can see Jean-Luc Pailler storming ahead of the other Citroen. And for some unknown reason, Per Ekland really didn't get the sort of start you'd expect. Lifting a wheel on the left-handers, Jean-Luc Pailler. The French crowd loving this. He's out in front of Kenneth Hansen. And they really do get close up with Jernberg, giving them all a bit of a push. That's 1, 2, 3 and 4 in this A final. And this is where the big points are going to be earned for this weekend. A big cheer goes up from the crowd. 2 French cars in the lead. They're wearing the French car badges anyway. Slightly different to the sort of thing you'd pick up and drive home from the showroom. Per Ekland looking for a way through on the inside of Hansen. He's not finding it. Jean-Luc Pailler keeping well out of trouble there. And Hansen, I think, has got to be settling for second place. The two of them are just getting a little ahead, a little away from Per Ekland, who looks to me as if he's actually holding up Michael Jernberg a little bit. They slow right down on that tight right-hander hairpin, and there's nothing the rest of the field can do. as they travel through the dust, kicked up by the leaders in this A final in the second round of the European Rallycross Championships 1999. And Jean-Luc Pailler, ex-European champion, looks all set for a good one as they take a leap over the bump, unweight it and then slow down with really aggressive braking. Going wide is Pailler and faster Hansen tries the slower inside line, and Per Eklund just sitting there in third place really feels he can't do too much here. Consistency is what it's all about. The bonnet of Hansen being dented there, real rough and tumble. He's just got a little bit of time left to try and make an impact on the Xantia, but Per Eklund probably going to just settle for third place now, unless one of the front runners makes a big mistake. And a brilliant drive by Jean-Luc Pailler, being feted by his French crowd.
Un joli départ, je pense que je suis parti juste au moment où il fallait. Limite faux départ, mais bon, fallait essayer. Fallait essayer.
Jean-Luc made a very, very good start, and then I was all over him all the time, but he was quite secure on the inside, so it was never really go for the pass. I was up on the side somewhere here in the finish and up on the sharp corner also, but it was not just enough.